This is the server side file. This is the client side file. Here you can see some express related things, some socket related things. Here you can see the HTML, and here you see some socket related things. So in the server side file, you have this express module function things, and you have this express server made. You have this express handle the get uh, requests. You can see it sends a uh, response. It gives a response dot send file. uh, this response is given. This is the HTML file, which is the client side file, and in the socket you can see some the server socket.io server property class. Server class is here. With that you can see I made a object. So an object of that server class. This is the this is a this is the express server here made here, and socket.io dot on. Here you can see here that uh, notice this part, and look at this part. These things work together, I guess. So you can see socket.io dot on connect. So on connection, this function is supposed to be executed. This parameter socket connection, uh, socket connection on that parameter function parameter. When it receives an event, when it finds an event for broadcast, it is supposed to execute a function. So what is this for broadcast? Where does it get emitted or fired from? In the client side, you can see here, um, you can see in this place socket.io dot emit for broadcast. Here is being, so it is here being fired, it is being emitted, and the second parameter is a value. The value comes from the input field. Here you can see the info id. So the value comes from here, comes from the input field to here, and when the for broadcast event is fired, uh, socket connection dot on for broadcast, you can see that on that event this function is executed. In that function you can see socket.io dot sockets dot emit, and it fires an event broadcast. So what is socket.io dot sockets dot emit? Well, what this thing does is that what it can do is that it broadcast something. It can broadcast something to uh, to every user connected to the socket.io server. So every user that connected to the socket.io server is supposed to get this broadcast event. The second parameter is this info that we got from the client server here. This thing is here, and from there here, and when the broadcast event is fired in every client to every client, when the broadcast event is fired, every client is supposed to detect that event, and on that event does executes this function. What this function does here, you can see that it assigns the info. The second parameter here is the info, and here you can see the function takes the info, and taking that info, it can assign it to the last update info dot inner html. So it can the info is being assigned is supposed to be at assigned at the inner HTML of last updated info, and the element with that ID is this paragraph, this p tag. It has that ID. So to explain it, what should I say? So the client side, when the server, so the client side emits a for broadcast event on click of a button. So when the for broadcast event is emitted, with that there is this value also being uh, you know happens, things happen. And on that event, when broadcast for broadcast is emitted, the server, when from the client for broadcast is emitted, and the server uh, on that event does executes a function. In that function there is this socket io dot sockets dot emit that broadcasts a event to every client that is connected to the server at that moment, or in this program at that moment that is supposed to happen. And you can see the info is being passed here and back to those clients, and update those clients take the info and yeah, detects the event that is being fired from this, and updates the info of this ptag. In the browser, I can see I have opened multiple tabs. So if I click in enter in every one of those, which of course you can see it didn't work because I forgot to run the file node sc server dot js. So running this file now, it is supposed to work. You can see that it is working. So you can see that there is three client. If I write something in one of them, if I say blue is not red. So if I say that and say broadcast info, click on this button, it says blue is not red. It says here, and it also says in this client, and so it says it in every client. If I open a new client and say this, I you can see that it is not updated here. It is a new client, but all the ones that existed at that moment has this updated. So if I say something, if I just say text and now broadcast it, it is saying text, and it says text in every one of these and also the new one. So you can see that with this program, with this server client program, I have broadcasted some info, broadcasted some things, getting from one client and then broadcasting it to the other clients